Shalom, shalom. This is Yair from GMS Atlanta. Come with another lesson, but first and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishop, Great Millstone, which will well, teach well, and to the Archon, as well as the affiliates, pushing this 100% truth and sincerity while risking their lives to do so. And to your hopeful elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that have the appearance of the heathens, but their father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also are called Israelite foreigners. But today's lesson I'm going on to is this pretty much educational purposes right here. You know, what happened over here in France is something that definitely could happen here in Babylon. You know, these are the times that we're in right now. These are days of evil. And we have a lot that's going on here in Babylon. You know, 4th of July is coming up. You know, you got concerts. Another year roll around. Mardi Gras and just anything with a large gathering of people. You know, a lot of wickedness are out here right now. You know, a lot of our people just don't understand that the dangers are around them at this time. But we're going to look at this little quick clip right here, educational purposes, then we're going to hit some precepts on it.
Arrest after a possible syringe attack at a series of music festivals. And police in France say 14 people are under arrest after a possible syringe attack at a series of music festivals across France. 145 people report being pricked, including some girls as young as 14. I want to bring in foreign correspondent Tom Sufi Burridge for more. Tom, what's the latest here?
Yeah, Diane, so I think this is a very troubling phenomenon. What we don't know is anything really about the malign actors who were behind this. It appears to have been inspired or encouraged on social media. So it looks like there were social media posts before this annual nationwide music festival event. So effectively, Fête de la Musique, there are music festivals in towns and cities right across France. And prior to the event, there were posts, we think, on social media encouraging people or telling people to prick people attending that event. Now, we don't know anything about the malign actors behind this. Police are investigating, and they say that during those series of music festivals right across France on Saturday, 145 people were either pricked or believed they were pricked. So, you know, because of these social media posts, people picked up on these and then warned other social media users that this was being encouraged. So you had a climate of fear or concern prior to the event itself. And police are saying that they have arrested so far 14 people in connection with these attacks.
Tom, victims reported feeling hot flushes, dizziness, loss of consciousness, and visible marks or bruises on their skin. So are police saying what they think was in those syringes?
They haven't yet, and at the moment I don't think there's any indication whether or not any of the victims were actually injected with any type of substance. I mean, look, we know from one of the mayors of a city where there were 17 young victims, 17 young female victims, that the victims were as young as 14, aged through to 20. One particularly concerning thing I think that mayor said for me was that some of the victims were actually attacked in the presence of their parents. And we know that from police that most of the attackers were either pricked in their arm or in their back. They had various symptoms as you've laid out. And most of those people either were treated at the scene by first responders or then reported to hospital to give urine, saliva or blood samples to try and work out whether they were pricked or not. But I think, you know, this phenomenon, it doesn't appear, I think, that physically many of the victims were badly hurt or damaged in this attack. That seems to be the indication at this stage. But what this attack, inspired by just a few messages, we think, on social media, has done is sow panic. So I think, like, French authorities right now are urging calm. They're saying we shouldn't panic, but people in future events should be vigilant and look out for this type of attack, seek medical advice, report it to the police as soon as they see it.
And Tom, any sense of a motive here? Why do this?
I don't think we have any motive at all. And I think you know, this attack is symptomatic of the digital age, right? Social media. People or actors, malign actors, can go on social media now and encourage this type of attack. Now, there is nothing to suggest who is behind this attack, but we know that malign actors have been working to destabilize European countries in the past. No indication at the moment who could have been behind this, but I think it is deeply worrying for the authorities in this kind of digital social media age that we live in.
All right, foreign correspondent Tom Soufi-Burridge, thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy right there. You know, you have, all these people gathering together, trying to have a good time, but, being in these big crowds right now is not beneficial. We talking about Babylon the Great right now. This for the elect, being a part of those, Estes festivals and all that stuff, man, you want to stay away from all that, because if it could happen there, it could happen here. It just we're in a wicked time right now. We're in a wicked, very wicked time right now. I want to start right here with Ephesians 5:14. And it says, wherefore he saith, wake up thou that sleep, and arise from the dead. And Yahushua Amakashak shall give thee light, Yeah, you wake up, the Lord to give you the understanding of what's going on around you. You would get the understanding that we in some dangerous times right now. You got to always remember the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And all that is nothing but a bunch of wicked acts that's going on right now in the world. But a lot of that can go on right now in Babylon the Great. This is the time right now. It's very, very scary. And Ephesians 5:15, it says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Yeah, you gotta be with your head on the swivel out here. Not only being in certain places, grocery stores or malls or whatever, the airport, you got to walk circumspectly, and you got to put your head on the swivel, because you don't know what the hell is going to break out, So you got to be wise and just, always looking around. And Ephesians 5:16, redeem the time because the days are evil. And the days are evil right now. Big time evil all over the place. It's evil everywhere you turn. And it's going to continue to gradually get more and more and more. And right here, Ephesians 5:17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding that the will of the Lord Yahweh, our power is. You can't be unwise out here. You got to be very smart. And you have the understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You can be, you've had that umbrella over you, man, in protection, But a lot of these, a lot of the, especially 2/3, man, they're unwise. You know what I'm saying? They don't have an understanding of the dangers around them, man. But see, we're here to just, sow prophecies. Warn, blow the whistle and warn our people. These are not the times to be messing around, playing around out here in large numbers of people, man. Because that's wickedness that's going on, man, being pricked over there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's scary. It is flat out scary. And you can always use Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow the multitude to do evil, neither speak to decline after many judgment to rest judgment. Because, like I say, you follow the multitude of people, man. It's a bunch of wickedness. The people out here, you having a good time, you drinking, a lot of people doing drugs. And you know what I'm saying? That's evil. That's doing a lot of evil. And like I say, you got young people that was out there at that function, and a lot of young people be at functions here in Babylon. But our people gotta got to understand that you got to keep yourself away from evil, because evil is all around us, man, out here. Don't follow the multitude of people, doing wicked stuff out here. We want to be righteous and follow the narrow gate, man. Hey, we all get together. Hey, Great Millstone in the Phillies. Hey, man, we come together in a positive, man, positive atmosphere, man. It's nothing evil at all, man. It's positivity, man. But you have all these people get together in these big gatherings, man. It's a lot of evil that's going on. A lot of evil. And then, like I say, I'm put Jeremiah 4:22 in there. For my people are foolish; they have not known me. They are childish children. They have no understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Like I say, there's everybody getting together, congregating these large number of people, man, not being smart, not being wise, but you doing evil acts out here. When you do that, man, it's gonna be a lot of bad things gonna happen to you out here, man, because you don't have the knowledge of the times that we in right now. And that's the wide gate. All this gathering up out here. Like I say, out in France, it's crazy. I'm pretty sure there's some Israelites out there to that. And that's just a scary situation. But it's gonna be other large gatherings here in Babylon. You got Fourth of July, which a lot of our people follow that pagan day, man. And you're gonna be in large numbers, man, and that's following the multitude. And like I say, stuff like that can happen here in Babylon. You have to walk circumspectly out here. You have to see all things that's going on. We just warning the hopeful elect. Stay away from these big crowds. This is not the time. These are some very, very dangerous times that we're in right now. Very, very dangerous times. But that's got to be demoralizing. You getting pricked, and then you have no idea, what's that all about. And you got to be worried. You got people bumping into you. You probably can't feel it because you intoxicated, and you never know what that's going to transpire to, with all that going on. A bunch of wickedness. But you just have to move righteously out here, in the world. But like I said, here we focus here on Babylon. You just got to be smart when you're moving around here in Babylon, man. You don't want to have to deal with stuff like that, man. Because if it could happen there, it could happen here. So we just blowing the trumpet and try to warn our people. Like, hey, watch what you're doing out here. Be smart. Be aware of what's going on here and around the world. Stay away from big crowds. You just never know what's going to happen in these scary times that we're in. But I hope this edifying to the hopeful sheep and lamb, Quan Yasharala, on to the next lesson. Thawali Yah Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.